It's coming up for you tonight here on ITV1. Joe Calzaghe defending his WBO World Super Middleweight title for the 19th time against the American contender Peter Manfredo. It's a great opportunity for Manfredo, but tonight fantasy becomes reality. This report from Gabriel Clark.
Silence is golden.
And I feel I could take this championship from him in his hometown, in his backyard.
Talk is cheap.
Only this is a contender schooled in the sweet science.
Double it.
And the soundbite.
It's in my pants. I got the biggest cojones. You know what I'm saying?
If the Welshman has his camera-shy moments, the American has spent the last 3 years living life through a lens. That's why he's here.
Previously on The Contender.
Peter Manfredo was an unbeaten unknown pro when he went into the TV series and lost in episode 1. The X Factor. It was like going 10 rounds with Simon Cowell.
I feel like I let everybody down.
But Manfredo won the Fame game, was voted back in, and went all the way to the final.
And with his wife and daughter there to inspire him, Peter proved that he was back.
I learned a lot from the show, and you know, it showed I have a big heart, I have a lot of guts, and I'm going for all the glory now.
He's slick, he's smooth, you know, he's got some snap, he's got some power. Go easy.
If you walk down the street with Joe Calzaghe past Madison Square Garden, who'd get recognised?
Me, most definitely. If I walk down the street with Joe Calzaghe in Wales, I might get recognised more than him.
The champion's happy in his valley.
Look at that. Fresh air. Hills makes a champion. I mean, look at that.
Age shall not wither him. October's last defence underlined that in big red letters. Bloodied, unbowed. This was raw and brutal.
He used dirty tactics. He hit me low.
Call referee. That was a headbutt. No, it wasn't.
But Sakio Bika was beaten.
Excuse my French, but dirty little bastard.
A champion has to, you know, dig in his reserves and find a way of winning fights even when they're not pretty. You know, not all fights are pretty. Feeling good, you know, training's gone really well. Sparring, you know, the gym, done plenty of rounds, hands feel good. It's okay. I focus for this fight, you know, sometimes I lack a bit of focus. Fighting in my national stadium, in the Millennium Stadium, you know, 30,000 plus. If you can't get motivated and psyched for that, then, you know, you shouldn't be doing it.
Manfredo has a momentum. An attacking, swarming fighter. He's won his last 2 fights in 3 rounds. Freddie Roach and Sugar Ray Leonard have coached him, but the last word stays in the family.
Commit to that right hand. Dig it in there.
He had to step up against Eubank and come through, and he did, right? And he's kind of like the Eubank for me. He's 35 years old. He's old.
The lines between fact and fiction can seem rather blurred in Manfredo world.
That's actually my favorite belt right there, so when you see on Rocky.
That's forgivable.
Who will dare to be great?
The contender sells a fairy tale. Reality,
We'll find out tonight.
could be about to bite.
He's never been in the ring with me, and he's a contender. Not a champion, I'm the champion.
I'm the real Rocky. You know what I mean?
That's it.
I'm a history in the making, 20th defence. That's not going to slip. Nobody's going to beat me on the WBO 7. Nobody.
A real Rocky, Peter Manfredo, had his last 2 fights in the Dunkin' Donut Centre in Providence, Rhode Island. This is a bit of a jump.
This is a hell of a change. This is going to be very hostile for him. And more than anything else, he's never fought anybody like Joe Calzaghe. He can't beat Joe Calzaghe. I don't think he can beat him. I think he can prove to be very tough. I think he can be action-packed. It's going to be action-packed for the first half dozen rounds, but I just don't think he's too much of a classical style. Bika was awkward and unorthodox. This guy comes straight at you. And Joe's too big, and more importantly, he's too good for him.
He says he's the real Rocky. He has the ability to win it here, to beat Joe Calzaghe, and those contender people, they are confident. They believe
confident.
it.
I'm telling you, Sugar Ray says they're going to win. I have a wager on he's not going to win. He's not going to last 10 rounds. Joe, please get me my money. I really think that it's going to be a great fight. I think it's classically the combination of styles will make it a very attractive fight, but I think Calzaghe will start taking away.
Now, very much like Amir Khan, who we've just seen, Joe Calzaghe, he is going coast to coast in the United States. He might well fight over in the States later this year. He wants to put on a performance too.
Yes, he has to. It's not just about winning, Jim. At this stage in his career, when he's got so many people looking at him, so much expectation, he's got to win in style. He's got to win emphatically. He's got to look impressive, and it's about a clash of styles. And this guy, I think, it suits him down to the ground. He look impressive to me.
Now let me put this to you, Barry. He is 35 years of age. That is getting on for a fighter. Could he age just like that in the boxing ring?
It can happen to anybody, but most of the time you see age. You see it creeping up on you. This guy's got no miles on the clocks. He's as straight and as fit and as fresh as they come. He keeps himself very well between fights. He's had no real bruising fights apart from the Beacon fight. He's never really had a grueler. He's beaten 6 world champions. You know, he's fresh. The only thing that causes him problems is the hand. If he doesn't do his hand in the first couple of rounds, I don't think this guy's a match for him.
Thank you very much indeed, Barry. Well, he is a wonderful sportsman. He is an outstanding champion. He's felt unloved and unrecognised in the past, but not tonight. The stage set in the Millennium Stadium, and for all of you watching on ITV1 for Joe Calzaghe's homecoming, a year after that masterpiece against Jeff Lacey. Let's rejoin your MC, Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, live and exclusive to the UK on ITV1 and to the United States on HBO. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. Coming to the ring at this time, the challenger, Peter Manfredo Jr.
The music is the theme tune of the American reality TV series, The Contender. Peter Manfredo, one of the stars of that show, finished runner-up in the first series, but now gets his big opportunity, coming in on the back of a couple of third-round knockout victories. He says he is the real Rocky figure, and he intends to seize his moment. Been coached by Freddie Roach. Roach now with Oscar De La Hoya. De La Hoya getting ready for that big fight on May the 6th against Mayweather. Now he steps through the ropes for his big test against Joe Calzaghe with his father, Peter Manfredo Sr. And the reception at best, I think we can describe as mixed. But he certainly talked a good fight. He said he won't be afraid. And I watched those Contender lads in operation up in Newcastle last weekend. And one thing I can tell you is that every man of them has got terrific guts. He will go in and give it absolutely 100%. This is the opportunity he's been waiting for, and he intends to capitalise. He might be physically the smaller man, but he says his heart is that of a champion. Well, we will see.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, making his entrance to the ring, the fighting pride of Wales, the defending champion, Joe
Thunderous reception from 35,000 fans. They await the arrival of their hero. Calzaghe, a professional since 1993. He made his debut here in Cardiff on the undercard of Lewis against Bruno at the old Cardiff Arms Park. Now here he is in this magnificent Millennium Stadium. Calzaghe says this is the moment he's waited for so long. He's had ups and downs in his career, times when he thought that the public didn't really warm to him. Now he knows that ultimately he has been acclaimed as one of the great British champions of all time. This, the biggest crowd since Eubank fought Ben for a second time at Old Trafford back in 1993, and Joe Calzaghe, the star of the show, a few feet away from us, now walks into the ring. The spotlight of Britain and the United States is on the great Welsh champion, undefeated in 42 fights, now aiming to bring another victory against Peter Manfredo. He looks confident, he looks assured, and he's bathing in the fantastic reception he's getting from this enormous crowd gathered here in South Wales. There's the belt behind him, the WBO belt, and here now to give his final introductions and the anthems for the two fighters as well, once again, is Michael Buffer.
At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we would like everyone to please rise for the national anthems of the respected fighters, both challenger and champion. Here to sing both national anthems, first the national anthem of the United States and then the national anthem of Wales. Please welcome Mr. Wyn Evans.
Oh, say, can you see the early light? What so proudly we hailed at that twilight last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars saw the perilous fight. On the ramparts we watched
Mr. Frank Warren for Sports Network in association with the Tournament of Contenders. And www.frankwarren.tv is proud to present the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBO Super Middleweight Championship of the World. Sponsored by the News of the World, Big on Boxing, Rockstar Energy Drink, party like a rock star. Sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control, Chairman Charles Giles, President Lord Brooke Tremorfin, General Secretary Simon Block, World Boxing Organization and President Francisco Paco Barcarcel. At ringside, the 3 judges scoring this contest on the 10-point system from Canada, Harry Davis, from Puerto Rico, Jose Rivera, and from Belgium, Andre van Gotembre. Inside the ring, the referee in charge of the action from Birmingham, England, Terry O'Connor. And now, for the 35,000 fans here in Millennium Stadium, Cardiff, Wales, and for the millions watching around the world on television, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Waiting out of the red corner, wearing green, red, and white, official weight 11 stone, 12 pounds. His professional record stands at 29 contests, 26 victories, including 12 victories by knockout and 3 defeats. From Providence, Rhode Island, USA, the challenger, the WBO number 6 ranked contender in the world, the Italian warrior, Peter Manfredo. Waiting out of the blue corner, wearing black, trimmed with white. Official weight, 11 stone, 13 3/4 pounds. Professional record, a perfect one, consisting of 42 contests, 42 victories, including 31 knockouts, with 24 of those KOs coming in 4 rounds or less. He currently is the longest reigning champion in the world, and tonight makes the 20th defense of his title. Ladies and gentlemen, from Newbridge, presenting the fighting pride of Wales, member of the British Empire, the reigning, defending, undefeated WBO Super Middleweight Champion of the World, Joe
straight away, okay? Shake hands, best of luck to both.
Formalities over, and nobody sells it quite like Michael Buffer. Joe Calzaghe against Peter Manfredo, 12 rounds coming up for you. Calzaghe in defence number 20, going level with the likes of Bernard Hopkins and Larry Holmes. Joe Lewis, the record holder at 25, and the action is underway, and you see straight away the physical disparity here. Calzaghe some 3 inches taller than Manfredo, fighting out of the southpaw stand. Is he going to produce a virtuoso performance such as that he showed against Jeff Lacey in March in Manchester last year? Manfredo believes that Calzaghe is a fighter who could be in decline and is a man ready to be taken. The next hour or so will tell us one way or the other. Duke McKenzie, we've watched many of these Calzaghe fights over the years. He's been one of the truly exceptional British fighters.
He is just absolutely a phenomenal champion. You know, 19 defences let's put this into perspective, John. When you look at Manfredo, who's lost twice in the Contender Series, Calzaghe's beaten every contender, champion, and ex-champion put before him. That coupled with his experience, age is no barrier.
October 1997, when he beat Chris Eubank and became the champion, winning that vacant title. And it's been a roller coaster since then, and he's got Manfredo trapped in the corner. Manfredo's nose already reddening up a little bit. The American, incidentally, not the hardest fighter to hit. One thing you can certainly say is that.
Yeah, sorry, John, you've only got to look at his nose to see that. He stops a fair few shots.
Manfredo trying to unload with the right hand. Their argument is that you can't miss Calzaghe with a right hand, that sooner or later Calzaghe will get into macho mode, go toe-to-toe, and that when he does so, he leaves that chin wide open. Well, a lot of people have said that over the last 10 years. Nobody really has proved it. Byron Mitchell put him down and got absolutely hammered when Calzaghe got up and knocked him down himself and stopped the fight in 3 sensational rounds. Kabari Stalem put him down, but apart from that, nobody else has done, and Calzaghe hasn't lost a fight since he was a teenager.
Well, Manfredo isn't going to beat Calzaghe by outboxing him, that's for sure.
Manfredo showing attacking intent, though, trying to throw in hooks. Calzaghe just intent and contented to jab his way in and just box his way through this opening round and just see what his opponent's got to give. Terry O'Connor, the big man from the West Midlands, splits them. Fairly quiet sort of opening round, maybe Calzaghe just about doing enough to take it. So Calzaghe probably doing enough to take the opening round. Remember in that last fight of his against Sakio Bika, the Australian Cameroon-born fighter who he fought last October, he was cut badly for the first time in his career by a clash of heads. And Calzaghe starting really impressively in this round, doubling up on the jab. His sparring partner Gary Lockett told me, I don't think that Manfredo quite realises just how quick he is. Says it's like firing in against a featherweight with speed.
Yeah, he won't realise just how good Calzaghe is until the punches come raining down on his head. The corner have told Manfredo that Calzaghe slaps. They're going to find out just how hard he slaps.
Flurry of shots from Calzaghe and nothing coming back by way of response from Manfredo. The chants are starting to ring across this huge stadium. Who are you? Aimed at Peter Manfredo. Well, I'll tell you what, over in the States, courtesy of his television appearances, he's a big star.
Well, he's hugely popular in the States.
Oh, that's not allowed. Calzaghe hitting around the back of Manfredo, although Manfredo did turn his back on him.
Manfredo opting to try and box with Calzaghe, but you can't outbox the southpaw skills of a slick Calzaghe. You can't sit and wait on him.
Calzaghe's got himself into terrific shape as ever. You don't realise quite how big a frame Calzaghe is until you stand next to him. He's at least 6 foot, and he's a big 6 foot, if you get what I mean with that. He's a big frame as well, and to get down to 12 stone as he has done for so long, remarkable testimony to the fact that he keeps himself in terrific shape between fights. Not this ballooning up that some fighters do.
A nod of acknowledgement there from Manfredo as he walks onto the jabs of Calzaghe.
He's outspeeding Manfredo, and Manfredo's got to find something different here. He's got to land with one of these hooks to get Calzaghe's respect. Calzaghe just content to box his way in behind that right-hand lead and then throw the shots towards the body.
The last thing Manfredo wants to do is to give Calzaghe confidence to go with the silky skills that he already has, but he just can't get past the southpaw right-handed jab.
Manfredo looking a little bit nonplussed, I would venture to suggest. He's not finding the answers at the moment to the southpaw stance of Calzaghe and the real fast hand speed, which is showing to very good effect. Look at that, in and out. No great power in the shots, but touching him, getting the attention of the scorers, the judges. Calzaghe's made a confident start, won the first 2 rounds. Can he maintain the momentum?
Well, Manfredo looks, in his eyes, he looks absolutely petrified. You know, he looked so disconsolate when he was sitting on his stool, trying to take in the instruction. The magnitude of this fight, I think, the realization of this fight has just hit him.
Calzaghe's had fragile hands over the years. That was the one real worry. The concern that if the hand went early that he might have problems here, but he's starting to unload now on Manfredo, who's throwing nothing back, having to just take these and just trying to produce a mobile target on the ropes. But Calzaghe landing with flurries of punches, impossible to call each one.
What Manfredo fails to realise is Calzaghe will do this to him all night long. He can't wait for Calzaghe to punch himself out. It won't happen.
Manfredo just covering up, trying to fight out of that high-held guard. But his 2 attempted left-hand counters just whizzed through thin air. Terrific the way Calzaghe switches attack from head to body. Crowd's loving this one. Manfredo needs to produce more. Calzaghe is throwing punches by the dozen.
The referee might stop it. The referee's going to stop it.
He's stopping it. He stopped it. He stopped the fight. The Manfredo corner are protesting. They say it was too soon, but Calzaghe wins it in the 3rd round. Referee Terry O'Connor had stopped this one. He was taking a very close look. I'm not convinced how much Manfredo was hurt, but they always say that you need to be throwing punches back, and Manfredo was throwing nothing.
The referee says protect yourselves at all times. He looked to throw back, but Calzaghe unloaded a salvo of punches. He covered up unmercifully and just allowed Calzaghe free rein. You don't give a champion of Joe Calzaghe's stature free rein to punch like that.
Well, Manfredo didn't like it, and the corner were on their feet protesting in the American corner. But Calzaghe showed for me that the old speed is still there, the power is still there, and he'll move on from here. Frank Warren's been talking about huge summer shows against the likes of Jermaine Taylor, the world middleweight champion, the former world middleweight champion Bernard Hopkins, or maybe Mikkel Kessler, the WBA and WBC super middleweight champion, the Dane. But this is how the end came. Here were the punches, thundering home.
You know, maybe 10, 15 shots unloaded on Manfredo's head by Calzaghe. Nothing coming back. The referee's poised, ready to jump on him to stop the fight. If he's punching back and defending himself, then the referee wouldn't have stopped the fight. But Manfredo shut up shop, and the referee had no alternative but to stop the fight.
You could see the referee behind Calzaghe from that camera shot, holding his hands out and almost as much to say, well, what am I supposed to do here? Because nothing's coming back. This is all one-way traffic. It was like trying to send a waterfall uphill. It wasn't going to happen, and the victory had to come, and duly did.
Absolutely. You know, the referee's job is to protect the fighter at all times, and that's exactly what he did. Manfredo will fight another day. Calzaghe goes on to what hopefully will be now a super fight. He needs the super fight against a Hopkins or a Taylor or a Winky Wright, one of the real big boys.
43 out of 43 for Joe Calzaghe, and here's Michael Buffer to confirm yet another victory for this Welsh hero.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at Millennium Stadium, Cardiff, Wales, referee Terry O'Connor sees enough and calls a halt to the bout. The official time, 1 minute, 30 seconds, round number 3. The winner by TKO victory, and still the undefeated WBO
The Joe Calzaghe story goes on. I wonder if he'll have a fight in Cardiff again. Maybe, maybe not. But they absolutely loved him here tonight. Manfredo, all truth told, just couldn't really produce any sort of an argument in there. Calzaghe was a class removed. He is still at the top, absolutely at the top of the world super middleweight title tree. He's the world #1. He will move on now towards big tests in the future. There's Enzo Macronelli, who trains with him. His father, Enzo Calzaghe, who's been with him from word go. He's the man who shaped this magnificent champion, and Calzaghe remains just that. Here's Jim.
Thank you, John. Another triumph for Camp Calzaghe. But was that fight stopped too soon? We'll get Barry McGuigan's views when you rejoin us, and we will talk to Joe Calzaghe. The Americans were absolutely incensed that that fight was stopped when it was. Rejoin us in the Millennium very shortly. Still the super middleweight champion of the world. Was that fight stopped too quickly from your point of view? Probably not.
Probably not. I think you could make a case it was stopped slightly premature, but at the end of the day, I think it's inevitable. If he wouldn't have stopped there, he would have got stopped in the 4th. I think I hurt him with a body shot, I hurt him with a punch to the chin. He couldn't land on me. I was sharp, picking him apart with the jab. So, you know, basically the referee saved him for more punishment. So,
but it is a world title fight. You've surely got to give a contender every opportunity, haven't you?
Well, to be honest, I'm in the fight, so up close he was nearly going. You know, I think he was still timing in the round. And if he hadn't stepped in there, I think within the next 20-30 seconds, I'd have floored him, because he was. I think he was pretty much hurt.
You took a couple of rounds to have a close look at him, Joe. Was there ever any doubt in your mind that you were going to do the business here tonight?
Listen, I always have supreme confidence in my abilities, but you know, even at just 35, you know, you're still learning. And I made a lot of mistakes in the bigger fight. I tried too hard, and probably one of my most difficult fights. So I made sure that tonight I boxed from the start. You know what I mean? So when I get 5 better opponents, I wasn't careless. I boxed from the start, used my jab, and you know, broke into the fight. As soon as I had my reach, you know, my timing, then I stepped up in the 3rd, and thank God I won again, 20th defence.
Sure.
So I'm proud of that.
And what does it mean to you to fight here on your own patch?
It's amazing. You know, I missed out last July, unfortunately, but you know, finally I get the fight here after the Lacey fight. I'm for my 20th defence to fight in this amazing arena.
You'll fight here again, won't you?
Oh well, of course, you know. But thanks to Frank Warren and everybody involved, and HBO and ITV for giving me this opportunity. And I've paid my dues. I've been on a long time waiting for this opportunity, and this is what dreams are made of. This is where I wanted to be, and finally I've arrived. And there's more to come yet.
Just take a glance down here at this little monitor and see the end of the fight. And I mean, he was shipping punishment. There was nothing coming back. I guess that's what made the referee stop it.
Yeah. You know, all I know that basically it looked like the ropes were keeping him up. I was pushing him back with the punches. The ropes were keeping him up. Fair play, okay. You know, you could make a point that it was stopped a bit premature, but honestly, I believe another 20 seconds would have been over. Look, he's not fighting back.
Okay, let's have a quick word with your dad here. First of all, Joe, are you going to suffer even more years of punishment from this sadist here?
Oh yeah, you know, I love it. I love him. You know, he's a great dad. You know, he's a great friend, a great trainer. You know what I mean? And it's not just with me. He's gone and shown with Enzo Macronelli and other boys in the gym. You know, how many trainers get 7 fighters on the bill and all winners tonight? That's got to be a record. You know, he doesn't get enough credit. He's one of the best trainers in the world, full stop.
I have to tell you, your boy here was giving us a little wink before the start of the fight. You look petrified. You look more nervous than he was.
No, I just really call it. When he comes on, I really think he'd do the job. Like the first, second round, I said, step it up, job's going to be yours. And like he did, straight on. But, I'm over the moon. I can't, I'm speechless. I've had Enzo Macronelli, I've had anybody
he did the talking for you. Yeah. Well done, the Calzaghes. We'll have a quick word with Frank. Well done, gents. A quick word with Frank Warren here. Frank, I know you were a bit upset at the premature stoppage, but I want to talk not about that particularly, about the future plans for Joe Calzaghe.
Joe will fight hopefully in July, and we've made an offer already to Mikel Kessler for him to fight Joe, put his title on the line. His promoter and manager, Mogan Pally, came back and said he wouldn't be able to fight in July, but they would do it down the road. We're looking for the big fight in July, and we're now going to make a big offer of many millions of dollars to Jermaine Taylor to fight Joe. on that date.
There are a few miles left in this fellow's tank yet, aren't there?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, look at him. You look at his face. I mean, it's the way he fights. He doesn't get tagged very often, and he's a great fighter. And I can't tell you how thrilled I am for it. He deserves it. He deserves every bit of the fame and the glory coming to him, and that he's getting at the moment.
Cheers, Frank. Thank you very much indeed. We're going to have a word with the other corner now, with the loser, with Peter Manfredo. Here he is with Matt Smith.
Peter, was that anything like you expected it to be?
I don't know. I didn't know what to expect. It's my first time being in the ring, but I was excited. World title fight against the best fighter in the world. And, I was doing pretty good. I was hanging in there. I was trying to get to my rhythm going a little bit, and I was tough. The first couple rounds, I didn't get my rhythm like I wanted to. And the fight was stopped too soon. I wasn't hurt at any time, but, hey, I mean, I guess I come to his home country. You got to expect that. You have to throw back. I mean, I don't know. There was no warnings or anything, so...
What was your game plan? Was it to feel your way into the fight a little bit and not get caught too early?
Well, yeah, I mean, I wanted to feel my way, get some feints going, which, didn't work on him. He was a little different caliber fighter than I've been fighting. He's the best, so, I was just trying to get my feeling of the ring, the fans, the ring, everything. Just get my rhythm going. I just couldn't get it going. He picked up the pace a little bit. He got me against the ropes, and he throws a billion punches, but I was never hurt. They just stopped it quick.
Fast hands, Joe, would you say?
Yeah, fast hands, but not much power. I've been hit by bigger punches. I've been bigger guys, so, I mean, it's not like nothing I've felt before.
So you were comfortable. You were disappointed that the referee jumped in at that point, were you?
Yeah, I was, but there's nothing you could do about it. I mean, I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be with 35,000 fans. I'm happy to fight the best fighter in the world. I'm happy to be on HBO. I'm just blessed. I miss my wife and kids, and I just can't wait to see them. I've been away for a long time. And I tried my best, and there's nothing more you could do. I mean, I did everything right in camp. It just wasn't my night tonight. It was Joe's night.
It's a big occasion to come all this way to fight a guy of his class who's been champion for so long. Was it maybe a little step too far, do you think, for you, on reflection, or not?
No, I mean, I just got the heart. I want to fight the best, man. I want to be the best. I mean, so what? I didn't win tonight. Maybe next time I will. I mean, I want to get the experience in. Maybe next time I fight a guy that's just not as fast as him, and I could be all right. You know what I mean? But hey, it's a learning experience, man. You can't be great overnight. It takes time. So I just learned that I'm not ready. I guess I'm not ready for this league. I don't know. I mean, I have to go back and look at the fight and see what I did wrong and things like that. But I'm just happy to be here.
Listen, you're still a contender and a good one. So we hope to see you contending again.
I'm glad you say that. I mean, the fans kind of boo me a little bit with that. That's expected. But thank you very much for having me here.
No, thank you. It's been a pleasure to see you for as long as you were in there with a champion of Joe's caliber. Thank you very much, Peter.
Thank you.
He's an engaging sort of character. He took that defeat very well indeed. Yeah. How much sympathy do you have for him that he was stopped at that stage?
Well, the first thing is I would say that Joe was going to beat him up. There's no question about it. I'm slightly disappointed that he didn't try harder, but that referee was really poor. That was a terrible decision to stop him at that stage. I mean, he hadn't taken any really full-blooded shots. He wasn't down. He wasn't in distress. This is a world title fight, for criminy sake. What's he doing? I mean, I know they were concerned about the referee, but, listen, I'm not trying to be disparaging to Joe. I was disappointed with Manfredo. He didn't try hard enough. He didn't, he got himself into great shape. He didn't really try. He didn't make an effort. He didn't try and throw some, destructive punches to try and bring the fight to him, and he just got overwhelmed. But he wasn't that badly hurt, and it's a world title fight. You're supposed to let guys go and have a good go.
Duke McKenzie made the point in commentary. He thought coming out for that last round that Manfredo, all of a sudden it had struck him and he looked petrified. Would you go along with that?
No, I don't think he was petrified. I just think, when are the Americans going to get it? Joe Calzaghe can really fight. When are they going to get it? How many times do you have to prove to them that he's, an overwhelming fighter? He's fast hands, and although those hands are blurred and they don't look that destructive, he never misses. Look at the way he's snapping Manfredo's head back there. He's a very fast, sharp hitter. He's a very big super middleweight. He never leaves you alone. His hands hit the target every single time. He's just too good for this guy, and I really thought that Manfredo would put up a much better fight than this, but he was completely out of his league here. And but I was disappointed that I didn't see more of Calzaghe, because I thought it was stopped too soon.
He was just picking it up though. He was just getting into his rhythm. Those blurring punches were starting to flow, and Joe has underlined here, he has got a heck of a lot left to offer in this game of boxing.
Without a doubt. I mean, listen, a lot of those punches didn't hit the target there. Terry O'Connor was absolutely wrong to stop it that soon, but I have no doubt that Calzaghe would have stopped it.
Okay, but there is one little thing from your point of view. You will be collecting a few dollars, a few euros, a few pounds, whatever, from Mr. Sugar Ray Leonard.
He owes me 20. Jeff owes me 20, and so does Brian. So all the guys from the Contender, they owe me some money. Calzaghe's the best super middleweight in the world, and this next big one with Kessler or Hopkins or Taylor will be the real exciting fight.
I guess the one good thing for Joe Calzaghe from his point of view, he's relatively fresh after that one. He's not going to have to take 6 months out of the ring or anything like that, is he?
No, he didn't hurt his hands. The fight was over too soon, as I say. He took no punches whatsoever. He's ready to fight again very soon. I think they should be getting him back in. July would be ideal.
Okay, Barry McGuigan, thank you very much indeed. We're going to get Sugar Ray Leonard's reaction actually to losing that bet with you when you rejoin us here at the Millennium Stadium in Cardiff, and we have some explosive action as well involving that other fighter from Team Calzaghe, Enzo Macronelli. We're back shortly.
Well, when I first observed it, I thought it stopped a bit prematurely, but I do also understand the referee's reason to stop a fight like that, because if you're not firing back, if you're not throwing punches, it appears that you were seriously hurt. And Peter just never got into the game. He never got started. Joe was setting him up with his jab and throwing straight body shots, and Joe was on top of things. Peter in the second round was starting to come on a little strong, but he just appeared to just froze for some reason.
Was maybe the occasion a little much, do you think, for him on reflection?
I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of questions that will be answered at the press conference, but I hate to speculate, but who knows what was going through Peter's mind.
I understand what you're saying about it perhaps finishing a little prematurely, but I guess it was fair to say it was going one way. He was going to get hit more and more, wasn't he, the way he was acting?
Well, Joe fought a superb fight. He fought his fight and looked very impressive. Joe was throwing punches, combinations, and he had Peter at bay.
Peter will contend again, I guess.
Oh, for sure. He's a young man.
Nice to talk to you. Thanks, Ray.
Thanks, man.
All the best.
He will contend again indeed, Matt, but he will not contend against Joe Calzaghe. Sugar Ray Leonard, by the way, getting a great reception from all the fans here in Wales. Sugar Ray, the 6-time world champion. We've now got a chance